Okay, guys, let's get started. If anyone else joins in late, it's fine. Yeah, so we're at the dojo. They just out of convenience. Just some people have picked up their belt, so it's going to be quite strange. You're going to see some of you virtually, some of you in real life. Okay, so just for those of you who are new to the stretching class for this session, basically we go in sort of 4 sections. First 10 minutes is a warm up. Second 10 minutes is more of a yoga flow. And then we do some floor stretching, and then we do what's called leg conditioning. I'm going to move at a fairly fast pace tonight, just because I'm at the dojo and it's cold tonight, so we will get you nice and warm. Okay. So the first exercise we're going to do is where you take a step forward and go into a lunge, and then take a step back and go into a lunge. And what you're trying to do, doesn't matter how low you go, but make sure this knee is underneath this heel, and this back knee is underneath your hip, and you're keeping your back straight, okay? So we're just gonna do 10 of those on each side, okay? Let's go. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then switch legs, the other leg's going forward and back now. And position yourself, ready. Go with your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Okay, so we should be quite warm now. Let's warm up the hips. So first of all, we're going to do a squat with toes facing forward. We're going to squat down, try not to lean side to side, and bring your knee to the middle. Then squat down, other knee to the middle. We're going to do 10 each side, 20 in total, okay? So breathe in on the way down, breathe out on the way up. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Well done. Now, I know that was tough, but again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to break down the muscles by warming them up. Okay, so this next exercise has a little bit of a balance. If you're worried about your balance, you can reach forward and put your hands on the floor or blocks or a chair. So I'm in this running pose. I lift and come up into this T-shaped position. Okay, so ready from here and lift. 1, 2. You can use your arms for balance. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then going with the other leg now, I'm just going to switch position. Get your hips nice and level, try not to let them turn out, okay? So use your arms if you need to. Ready. 1. And come back down. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. As I'm going back to my lunge, I'm going slightly lower each time. 7, 8, 9, 10. Fantastic. Okay. So now we're going to go back to the squats, but this time we're taking the toes out in what's called a plie squat, and you're pushing your knees out to the side. As you squat down now, I want you to try and lift this leg up in a roundhouse position and lift your heel to your hand. So we squat down, heel to hand again. Again, we're going to do 20, which is a lot. But again, you will be nice and warm then, ready for the deeper stretches. Okay? So, in your own time, ready. 1. You can't keep up with me, just go at your own pace. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Try and get that leg parallel, knee and foot parallel. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, turn those toes out, 18, 19, 20. Well done, guys. So this next stretch is sometimes called a gorilla stretch, monkey roll. Basically, I'm going to put my hands underneath my feet. If you're on a hard floor, just hold on to your toes, okay? But basically, I walk my hands underneath my feet. So if you just want to watch me do one, that's fine. I try and bend my knees as much as possible, and then I try and straighten my legs. Now, it doesn't matter if your legs become fully straight, as long as you tense at the top. So have your feet about shoulder width apart, and ready. Bend and straighten. Go with your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fantastic. One more stretch, and then we'll get ready to go into the yoga flow. Okay? So, feet are now shoulder width, okay? And toes are going out slightly like 30-degree angle. This is a yoga squat now. Try and keep your back as straight as possible, and try and keep your heels dug into the floor as you go down. So you squat down like this, and then back up, okay? Let's have a go. Ready? 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On the 10th one, we're going to stay down there. Stay down there. 10. Now, put your palms together or your knuckles together. You're going to bring your hands down and push your knees out for 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then just place your hands forward, and you're going to lift one hand up as high as you can. From here, we're going to do 5 circles. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change arm and lift. Ready? 1, 2, 4, 5. Change direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And stand up. Give your legs a little shake. Hopefully now, everyone is nice and warm. Okay, so What we're going to do today for our yoga session, when it's warm, we're going to have a little break and look at the lower back. So for those of you who have like a tight lower back or sore lower back, this is a way of lengthening and strengthening your lower back. Okay. So first things first, we're just going to show in the camera. Okay. Just a little introduction to yoga, because I know some people's first class doing this. Okay. So try and go with your breath. So let's just practice doing a deep breath. So as you breathe in, breathe right down into the stomach. As you breathe out, slow and controlled, then breathe through your mouth out or through your nose. It's totally up to you. So this time we're going to breathe in and then fold forward and fold completely. Now what we're going to do is straighten the back as we breathe in, put the hands on the shins, but make sure your back is straight. And as we breathe out, fold. Now you're going to walk out into plank. From the plank position now, I'm going to do a very slow push-up all the way down to the floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can uncurl your toes and have your hands by your lower ribs. Now, I want you to lift your knees off the floor, but the tops of your toes are still pointing into the floor. And I want you to lift up in what's called cobra pose. So it's not a very deep stretch, you're just lifting the chest off the floor. Take a deep breath in and out, and then fold completely. We're going to do that again. Lift your head up. Now try and lift your hands off the floor, 1 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you've got to push up and then sit back onto your heels for what's called a child's pose. Just to give your lower back a little rest. Okay, come forward and again come up into your plank. This time we're going to take the hips up for down dog. In this down dog, I just want you to walk your legs left and right, bending and straightening. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come back into your plank and lower all the way down to the floor. Uncurl your toes and then lift up, either in this cobra position, or if you're very flexible in your lower back, you can lift the knees off the floor for what's called up dog. Whether you're in cobra or up dog, you're going to look over one shoulder and then the other shoulder. And again, 1, 2. And lower yourself down. You can lift up, full push-up or push-up on your knees. Come up and down dog again. This time, watch me first so you get the sequence. I'm going to bend my knees and then come high up onto my toes. Okay? This is quite tough. We're just going to do 5 today. Okay? So bend your knees, sit back, don't let your knees touch the floor, and then lift up high on your toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 more, 5. Now from here we're going to take a little rest. We're going to walk our feet up to our hands. And again, do that breathing. Breathe in, lift, breathe out, forward. And then reverse swan dive, come up, and hands together. Okay, so we're going to do that again. This time give me some more advanced back positions. So if those ones are tricky for you, I will do those ones again. Okay, so again, we'll do another round. Breathe in, breathe out, fall forward, breathe in, lift, breathe out, fold. Step back to your plank, down to the floor, all the way down, uncurl your toes, and then what we're going to do this time is we're going to lift up into that cobra again, look over your shoulder, and raise one leg. So the shoulder you're looking over, Julie, can you cause a dog? She's right in the way. Okay. And then look over the other shoulder, lift the other leg. 2. We're just going to go back and forth. The more you push into the hands, the more of a back stretch is going to be. 4. Go at your own pace, listen to your body. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come down. This time we're going to go back into a different kind of child's pose where your knees are bent and your toes are curved. And reach forward. Give the back a little bit of release. And then come forward into your plank and lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Okay, this is the tough thing for the arms now, okay? I want you to take both arms forward, thumbs to the ceiling. We're going to start off really slow and build up. This is going to give your back quite the workout, okay? I want you to lift up your left arm 2 inches. So lift, go with your breath, and change the other side. Right, we're going to do 10. Okay, so that's 2, lift, 3, right lift, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower the head for a second. And this time we're going to lift the legs up. Again, just 2 or 3 inches. Okay, so lift the left leg. Now your head resting on the floor. 1. Lift the right leg. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, what we're going to do from here is we're going to lift up right arm, left leg. So you're going to lift them up opposite. Okay, if this causes you problems, just lift one arm, one leg. Okay, so you lift the right arm, left leg as high as you can. 1, and change. 2, 3, 4. You've got to come down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just rest for a second. Now, we're going to lift our arms up, both arms up for 10 seconds, okay? So just lift them up as high as you can for 10 seconds. Ready, lift. Arms up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax, let everything go. And then lift the legs for 10 seconds. Ready, lift the legs. Ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. Now you guessed it, we're going to lift the hands and the legs, okay? So ready to lift. Ready, lifting up. Ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now curl the toes, walk the hands back. This is another variation to stretch your back the other way. Keep your hips over your knees. Walk your hands forward and push your chest to the floor. This is what's known as puppy pose. But again, we're just giving the backs a little bit of release, and it's also a great shoulder and chest stretch. Okay, we got one more exercise. I'm going to show you upright first so you can see, because you're going to be looking at the floor. It's basically like swimming. My arms are forward. I take my arms up into a cactus. I take my arms behind, and then the tricky bit is I bring my arms through the middle. So let me show you from the side. So imagine I'm lying on the floor. My arms are up like we just did. Then I take them out into a cactus arm. Then I take my arms back, thumbs down. This is the tricky bit. Without your hands or elbows touching the floor, you swim the arms through. It's very tough. If you can't do it, just do one of the previous exercises. But this is the best way to give your lower back a workout, which is very difficult to do. So if you're feeling pain, just listen to your body. Okay, it is a very hard exercise, but one we're not used to doing. Okay, we're just going to do 10, but do as many as you can. When you can't do any more, just go into your child's pose, one of the variations I showed you. Okay, let's go for it. So, an option to have feet on the floor or feet off the floor. Up to you. Okay, ready? Let's go for it. So lift the arms out in the cactus. Take the arms behind, and then bring them through the middle. That's 1. So go with your breath now. Breathe in, out, breathe in, out. 2, 3. We're going fairly quickly in a sort of swimming motion. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Well done. I'm now going to show the last variation of child's pose, which is a wide knee child's pose. So I'm sitting back on my hips and my knees go as wide as I can. Fantastic. Okay, sit down on the floor. So that's the yoga part over and done with. And there's many different ways of doing yoga, but the back exercises I always find very useful as a martial artist. So what we're going to do now for the floor stretches, we're going to look at hip movement. A lot of times the way we sit is in a very restrictive way. So when we sit in these positions, our body sort of rebels. So what you need to do is at some point in your day, try and sit in this butterfly stretch. And I'm going to show you a bunch of different variations to do. So number 1, take your hands back and push your chest up. We're going to fold our feet over like a book. So I cross one knee over, bring it back, go into a full butterfly, and over the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, fantastic. Go back to the normal butterfly. Okay, this one now, I'm going to take one foot forward, grab onto this foot. Some of you did this with me last week, but this is another way of doing it, like pulling on it, like sort of sit-ups while you're already sat up. Okay, so you're just leaning forward. So we're just going to pull on our foot and pull ourselves forward 10 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And change, put the other foot forward. Again, hold on to it. Keep your back as straight as possible and pull into it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we do something like this already, but there's a slight difference. If you want to put something under your hip to sort of rest on, you can. So I've gone out in my classic pigeon stretch, but it's different that my leg's almost like a side kick, so it kind of looks like a flying side kick on the floor. I'm going to take my hands out either side, and again, if you can't get your hands to the floor, put them on blocks or some sort of object. Now, as I raise up, I want to lift my hip off the floor. As I push up, I want to drop everything to the floor. So I want you to lift your hip off the floor and then go back down. This is why I said that some of you who are on a hard floor might be an idea to put something under your hip, but again, it's up to you. Okay, again, we're just going to do 10 push-ups like this. So lift the hip off the floor and then push it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wonderful. And change over, other side. So again, get that position first, like a flying side kick. Okay, but the foot is up here. Try and make that back leg as straight as possible. And you're pushing your chest sort of square over your hip. Okay, as you come up, hip off the floor and push up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now take your legs out into a straddle position. Okay, and again, while we first sit in our straddle, there's a couple of little exercises because again, this is another one that feels odd. Make sure your back is straight, so make sure you're sitting on something before you attempt it. And a couple of little exercises to warm up. What we always used to do back in the day was grab our fists, either our knuckles or the bottom of our leg, and just hit down on the bits that are sore. So maybe they're tight from training or anything else, just wake up the muscle a little bit, give it a little bit of a massage, okay? And then the other one was the circle. So again, we're only gonna do 5 circles here. So ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the other direction, ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more that's really easy, and I'm just giving you ideas for sitting up. Whether your hands are behind you, on your legs, or in front, just this. Point the toes and curl the toes as much as possible. We'll just do this 5 times, okay? So point and curl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, like we did earlier with the butterfly stretch, we're going to fold over. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn your hips up to the ceiling like that, and you're going to bring your leg over to meet it, bring it all the way over the other way, and then over to meet it. You might not be able to bring your leg all the way to the other side, but what you're doing is you're building the muscles on the insides of your legs that are very sort of, unless you go horse riding, they're not very developed, okay? So do your best. We'll just do 10 of these 5 on each side. So ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, starting to work now, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to finish off this section with a little PNF. We did the pancake last week, but one of the stretches I forgot was to add a PNF stretch to the pancake, which again, there's so many stretches, you can always forget one. And again, different stretches work for different people. So what I want you to do now is don't take your legs to maximum and bend your legs slightly, okay? I want you to bend them so you can reach for your toes or your feet very easily, okay? Now already, because I've bent my legs, it's easier for my chest to pull forward. So we're just going to do 3 rounds of PNF. So what I want you to do is pull your feet in and with your heels push out. And also push your chest forward and keep your back straight, okay? So just hold for 5, ready, and push, ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. Now you might feel like your legs can go a little bit wider and you can lean a little further forward, maybe. Otherwise, just stay there. Again, reach for your feet again, keep them bent, and tense, ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. Maybe you take your legs to almost straight with a little tiny bend in them and fall forward. See how much I'm folding forward now? And tense. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Give your legs a shake. Now take your legs out to the maximum. Again, this is kind of going on what we did last week with your pancake. And see after that PNF stretch if you can go further forward. So again, you know, if you're on your legs, great. If you're on your hands here, but just try and go forward now after doing that quick bit of PNF. And let's do 3 breaths here, okay? So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, come in, just give your legs a little shake. So that's some floor hip stretches you can do when you're sitting down instead of just sitting on the sofa. Don't have to do it for very long. Like again, we spent 10 minutes there, but you can do it for 5 minutes. So the next thing now is conditioning. Okay, and what we're going to look at today is mobility, moving, while using your core. Sometimes people can't do stretches and balances, not because they're inflexible, because they don't have the core strength. So this is going to be a workout. I'm doing a count of 10, but if like you can only do 5, that's fine where you are, okay? But you're going to be working the core and you're going to be working your mobility. So you're going to be on your hands and knees. Don't worry, I'll show you this from the front and from the side. So some of you, this is going to be new. So if I show you from the side first, from here, you're going to lift your knees off the floor. Okay, so let's just lift our knees and hold that for 10 seconds first to see what it feels like. Okay, so keep your back straight. Imagine like something resting on your back. Lift your knees and hold. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom. Well done. Just relax. Okay, so just holding that position for 30 seconds or a minute is really good for your core. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to lift my knees off the floor. Watch me first. And I'm just going to lift my arm up. Lift my arm up, put it back down. Lift my arm up, back down. Now, you will rock side to side slightly, but you're going to be using your oblique muscles now. Okay, so we're building up to this slowly. Okay, let's go for it. So lift the knees and tip the hand up. 1. Try and look up at your hand if you can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sit back. Give yourselves a little shake out because, again, you're starting to work really hard now, okay? We're only going to do 3 more rounds of this, okay? Just to give you an idea, because some of you will go, wow, this is tough. But again, this is the sort of core strength you need to do some of these more difficult stretches, more difficult balance and poses, okay? So now, watch me closely. Same thing, lift my knees off the floor, lift this hand up. With the opposite leg now, I kick it through. If you want to rest it on the floor, that's fine. Look from the other side, I twist, take the leg through and up. We're going to do 10 all together, 5 each side, okay? Let's give it a go. Ready, knees off the floor and twist it. Lift the hand, kick through. Come the other way. Ready, 2. Try and make it flow now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And rest. So now we're going to start to use our back muscles again because we're going to go into a bridge. I'll show this from the front because I'm going to go off at an angle. Those of you without much space, just do what you can, okay? So I'm on my knees. I lift up my hand. I kick through, and then I put my foot down. And at an angle, I lift my hips up into a bridge. I come back the way I came, twist the other way, kick through, put my foot down, and lift into this bridge. If you can't do it, that's totally okay. Just modify it as you need to. Just put your foot down and lift your hips as high as you can. It's going to start to work your lats and everything else like that. Give your body, again, it's this being able to move through positions that helps us to be strong and healthy, okay? Do your best. Okay, let's go for it. Ready, so lift your knees off the floor, lift the hand up, kick the leg through, put it on the floor, then lift your hips, and then come back the way you came. Ready, go at your own speed, don't have to keep up with me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done, everyone. I think we'll leave it with those there, especially if it's new to you. That's going to be quite a workout, okay? So the next leg conditioning we're going to do is more about leg strength, because that was mostly upper body and core strength. We're going to look at leg strength now. And this is going to help some people, again, those of you who want to do splits and box splits and those more difficult moves, this is how to build up to it. Okay, so again, we've done most of these stretches before, but this is going to be more of a workout. Okay, so legs nice and wide, standing up. Okay, again, when I get too complicated, you just go to one thing. It's going to go in levels. Okay, so we've done loads of these before. First one, nice and simple. Just bend one knee and straighten the other. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hands down to the floor. Walk your hands side to side. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Get those hips nice and low. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now this time, as you walk your hands over, you're going to lift that foot off the floor. Some of you might not be able to do that, okay? So just do your best, okay? Ready? Walk the hands over, lift the leg. Ready? 1. Try and keep the palms to the floor. 2. Toes down like a side kick. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Now sit down in your Cosack squat on the ball of your foot. It's up to you whether you've got your hands down or hands off the floor. But make sure you have balance, okay? So I'm going to keep my hands down here, okay? Go walk side to side 10 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Legs are starting to really work now. 10. And stand up. So this is a very simple variation that I've added to make this the exercise more difficult. Okay. Basically, now I'm going to do the Cossack squat from standing. If you found it difficult on the ball of your foot, stick with that. I'm now going to, with the bent leg, keep my foot flat to the floor. So watch first. I sit down as low as I can and then come back up. If you need to put your hands to the floor, totally fine. If you need to put your hands on blocks or a sofa or a chair, that's totally fine, okay? But this is going to really make sure your legs and your hips and everything get a really big workout. Okay, we're just going to do 10. Ready? 1, and up. Sit down the other way. Don't matter how low you go. 2, your legs are getting a workout. 3, 4, 5, 6, low as you can now for the last 4. 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if you can, I want you to sit down fully on the floor with your leg here. If you can't sit down like this, just sit down in the regular butterfly. Just sit down with your foot up, and I've got my elbow here. This is a new stretch for you, okay? I'm going to reach for that ankle with my opposite hand. With my hand, that's the same side of my knee up, I'm going to reach over and try and grab that toe. So there is a stretch for you to work towards, okay? Let's come over to the other side. So just a different one, because we did the pancake last week. I was thinking, I don't want to do pancake or front splits today. I wanted to give a new stretch. So again, first things first, you need to be able to get your forearm in front of that leg. Once you're there, reach for that ankle, front of your ankle, that was a hand. And then with this hand, reach over for that foot. And then the variation would be I don't even know if I can do this. I haven't done this before. Not putting your heel down, reaching and lifting. So that's a variation that I can't even do. But again, I'm just trying to show you that with stretching, there are levels to everything. Okay, relax. What we're going to do today is we're going to do some stretches on your back that will sort of ease you down. So the last 5 minutes, that's all the hard work done. But you shouldn't do big stretches and just go back to sitting on the sofa or getting in the car. You should always cool down. And this goes for this or regular training. Okay? So lie on your back. Grab your shins. Make sure your knees are wide, shoulder apart. And then lift your hips up for a nice bridge stretch. And then fold your shoulders in so you're kind of coming up even higher. And relax. Now bring both knees in and hold on to your knees and rock side to side. Okay, we're going to do a couple of back stretches now. Here are some of my favorites. So the first one, I take my leg in a figure 4, and just to give myself one more little hip stretch, I'm going to pull it in, just for 3 breaths. And then I'm going to take my hands up into a T and let that foot fall over to one side as I look over the other shoulder. Lift up and swap the cross of your legs. And then bring the shin in. And breathe, 3 breaths. And then let that go. And let the opposite foot drop over to the side, looking over your other shoulder. Now, some simple stretches, going back to the back, is to take your feet just wider than shoulder width and let your knees come together. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to let the knees fold out. They won't be able to fall all the way out, but just in and out 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that from that position, let the knees drop to one side, like we do with the windscreen wiper. What I like to do here is take my hands up in cactus position. So if that's comfortable for you, fine. We're just going to do 10 of these, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that last one, hold it. You can either hold it, or what I like to do is hook my bottom foot over my top knee, and then look over the other shoulder for 3 breaths. And then switch sides, so rock your legs over the other side, cross that heel over your knee, and look over the other shoulder. That's good. And then slowly roll up to seated. Okay. So again, with the stretching, I'm always about the hamstrings and the hips because of martial arts. If anyone does have an injury or want to work on a certain area more, we can spend more time on that area. But I like to mix it up so you don't overdo any one part, and you trying to, again, I'm trying to educate people that stretching is more than just being able to touch your toes, basically. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. I'll see some of you soon. Take care, and don't forget nunchuck class tomorrow night at 7.